is a result of the San Jose Museum of Art Poetry Invitational, where the museum invites poets to come write a poem in response to some of the artwork that's on the wall, and it happens every year, and I did this 2 years ago. And in my case, there was an exhibit of photography by two Indian photographers from Calcutta, and it was all photographs of abandoned camera factories. So there were like these decrepit, run-down, crumbling warehouses with just broken analog camera pieces all over the place from decades earlier that hadn't been used. So if you were in the museum, you're looking at digital photography of abandoned analog photography. And so and then that same building, it used to be the museum, or that same building that's now the Museum of Art used to be the public library in the 60s when my mom worked there before I was born. So there's all these different layers of reincarnation going on. So that's so the poem resulted in this, it resulted in this poem, which is called Analog Reincarnation. Take a deep breath. Okay. Through a distant lens, darkly captured, the archaeology of absence, the analog of reincarnation, passed on through cousins in the East, from a factory of dust in the city of joy, you and your lens, they will conjure the image of a man long gone. But now that he lives on, through me, I can say, thank you, yours truly. To you, this man, someone that I never knew, a photograph is all that I see. You are now me, and I am now you. The cousins, they tell me this is true. Your profile reflects mine as I hold it to the light. I see it shine, secular and sublime, that faded brown photo from decades ago. This, they tell me, these cousins from the East. Through another lens, over in the West, the library that I never knew, inside these walls, the books grew and grew. Their music available for review, their stories passed on to me from you, and thanks to you, I began to read at the lowly age of 2. As the dust began to settle, and feathers of plaster fell from the ceiling, and a factory abandoned of any meaning, the imagery started singing, while the lens opened wide and panoramic, enigmatic and true, reproduced by f-stops and shutters and screws. The past emerged in multiple views. Now, I arrive here today from a soul darkly captured through a camera snap, through a lifetime and back, through the lens of death and birth passed on from the womb, from library to museum rooms, here in front of me, a mirror of archaeology. Through this poetic lens, past and present depend on cause and effect, a life passed on from me to you, this poetry, it shall continue.